Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I am busy knitting a bit of the Rosebud. This is one of the sleeves. I've done the back and one of the fronts. Then I thought I'll do a sleeve next. And then I can sew in that sleeve and the front while I'm doing the rest, so I don't have to be doing all the sewing all at once, because the sewing does affect my hands as well as what the knitting and the crochet is, especially when I'm holding my finger and thumb like that with a needle for sewing. It sends a pain down my thumb. So instead of having to do all the sewing all at once, because if I knit the sleeve, I can put that into the stitch it to the back and stitch one of the fronts to it. And then I'll knit the other sleeve, and then I can sew that sleeve on and then do the other front. And so I'm doing it in the sewing in stages, so I'm not sitting, doing all the sewing, the whole lot all at once. That's what I used to do years ago, when I used to be working on my knitting machine. When I had done pieces, I used to sew pieces together like that before I put the neck bands and everything on, because I used to have so much sewn, because it was so much faster on a knitting machine than it is by hand. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'll put that down in a minute, and I'm using I have two here at the moment. One's the little bigger one, the little baby one in the middle, because that one's gone down a bit. I might make an even smaller one for these smaller balls like that, because they still tend to roll around inside the thing as they get smaller. I'll put that down in a minute, and I'm going to show you something which has really annoyed me. This is the green. I'm using the largest one there, the next part of the cone. This was the other half of I think of the 400 gram balls. And this is what I've done for the front, the first front, the right front, I think this is. But this is the second time I've knit this. I knit this the first time, and while you can see here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cables to cross over there, I had crossed this one over as well. I just looked at the pattern when I started it, and I saw it's purl 3 stitches here, then knit 4 and purl 2, and I just saw the knit 4 and the purl 2, and I thought, well, that's what I'm doing all the way across after I've done those 3 and 2 the last 6 stitches there. I know there's last 6 stitches on the end, only I didn't read it properly, because the pattern actually said purl 3, knit 4, purl 2, and then in brackets it had knit 4, purl 2 5 times. Only I never looked. I just looked at the first part of it and thought, I'm crossing cables, that's what I'm doing. So I had got about up to here where my finger is, where I had changed, where there was 5 cables, and I changed to 3 cables, and I think I had just done the first lot of cables across there. That's about as far as I had got when I realised what I had done, because I picked up the pattern, because I never really looked at the picture. I was just looking at the instructions, and I'm looking at the pictures and I'm seeing that cable's not crossed at the very front. And I'm looking at mine and I'm saying, well, that pattern must be wrong. And I had to read it over a few times so I realised what I had done. Because as you can see, the pattern there, that's the one that is just done plain all the way down without crossing the cables all the way down. And I never realised, the air was blue. Actually, the language that was coming out of me when I realised what I had done. And as I'm a perfectionist, I could have left it and thought, it would probably not make any difference. But it's not the same as the pattern, so I pulled it out and I knitted it up again. And that's how far I've got this time. But I'm giving it a little bit of rest because I'm sick of having to knit with the gloves on, and I need a little bit of rest. So I'm going to carry on with a little bit of my own over the weekend and leave that maybe till Monday. I'll pick that up again on Monday. It didn't actually take very long when I did pull it out and knitted it up again. It is because it's Aran, there's not as many stitches. There's only 40, I think there's 43 stitches across here altogether. It doesn't take very long to knit that many. It's like knitting a child's one, really, the number of stitches you have on a child's one. And it's also on a larger needle, so you get done quicker. That's what I'm glad about. It would have been even really worse if it had been double knitting. But anyway, I'm putting that to one side for now, and I'm going to do some of this one, and maybe it's a bit more of the pink one. And my patterns, my latest pattern, where is it? The raindrop one. I have it here when I find it in my book. The latest pattern there is now on eBay as well as Etsy. It's on Etsy for the paper pattern and the PDF, but on eBay it's just the pattern itself, because I can't work out how to put a PDF. There is supposed to be a way to put a PDF on, but I just can't find any information on eBay for how to put it on. So it's on. I've sold quite a few actually, and it's working up okay anyway. But for anyone that wants it, it's on eBay as well as Etsy. And I have sold one or two other things on eBay that I've had on for sale, and I'm going to show you what's actually left apart from the knitting patterns on eBay. There's this is a little one of those little crossover head warmer things or headbands. This one, I actually tested it on my 8-year-old great grandson, and it fits his head perfect. So it'll probably fit for about a 7 to a 10-year-old, something like that. That's on for sale. And I also have this phone case. This is brand new. It's for the Samsung, as you can see, the Samsung A9 2018. It was one I ordered by mistake for myself. I think it must have been 2 or 3 years ago, and it's just been lying around in my house, and I thought I'm just going to put it on eBay because it was going to cost just as much to send it back. I thought I might as well just see if I can sell it. So if anyone has that older Samsung model, that is the case that is on. As you can see, it's like a flowery thing with a pink speckly, I think it's like a pink speckled thing on the rest of the case. And I have put this up as well for anyone that wants, it's either a medium-sized project bag. This was the one I was doing a little while ago. Or if you want one for your kids' toys and things, where to put the toys in, that's up. And that is all I have apart from the patterns. Those 3 things on eBay, apart from some DVDs which I put up, used to belong to my husband, and I wasn't interested. I was never going to watch them again. So there's a few DVDs. I've probably got a lot more DVDs I need to sort out actually and put on, because they were all the kind of things that my husband liked, and I wasn't interested in watching them again. So anyway, I'm going to try and get this little cardigan finished, and I can get it sent off to the lady. Her name's Denise, that I'm doing this for. And I've had a card this morning. It says, "Thanks very much." It was a card sent with the payment from Pat for the phone pouch I did for her. She just says, thank you for the phone holder. Lovely work and nice colours. Enjoy watching you making things. You're good at everything. Love, Pat. So thank you, Pat, for that nice card. It's another one. Put that on my mantelpiece for a little while. That's what I do. When I get cards, I put them on my mantelpiece and leave them there for a few days. But I do have to take them down every so often because I do get a lot of cards and it ends up there's not enough room for them all. So that I have had a walk over to the post office this morning. It's quite very dull, miserable day actually. In fact, it's actually started raining. Oh, and there's somebody, I'm just looking out the window and somebody's parked their van over my drive. Oh, he's not actually on my drive. He's on the road opposite. He must be delivering something somewhere. He'll be going away. I was just going to go out and tell him to get his car off my drive because I was going to go out shortly. But I did have a walk over to the post office this morning and it's saying it's very miserable, dark day, and there's some raindrops on my window, so it is starting to rain as well. You know, it just never fails. We just cannot get rid of the rain. But anyway, I was at my bingo on Thursday. That was another very dark day. All day. It never rained. It was just dark all day. I even had the light on in my living room. And when I met my friend, we picked Molly up as well. I picked my friend up first and we picked Molly up, and everybody was complaining about how dark it was. I thought it was going to be very dark when I came out. It came usually about just before 10 o'clock when the bingo finishes. Well, it's not usually about 10:15. I thought it was going to be really dark, but it seemed to brighten up by the time we come out. But anyway, it's still quite warm. It's not cold. I only walked over to the post office and I just went over like this with just a cardigan on. I didn't need a jacket on. And me and my friend never won anything at the bingo again on Thursday. My friend gets quite upset because she expects to win every week, you know. She said to me, she says, when's our luck going to change? I says, well, that's just the way things are. I says, you're either lucky or you're not, and that's the way things go. So anyway, I'm having to work out where I have to put this next. The next rosebud. When I'm trying to work out where to put where you come to the next rosebud, as I haven't got a one underneath there to go as a guide. I go from the little hole. This is just anyone that doesn't know. From the little hole, you work that way up to the needle. See, that's the stitch there. So the next 2 stitches beside it would be the first 2 stitches that you knit 2 together. And then you would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there's only 5 here, which means I would have to knit 2, wool forward, knit 1, wool forward, slip 1 and knit 1 and pass the slip stitch over. So I don't like 2 stitches knitted together at the end. So that's how you find out. You go 2 rosebuds below and you follow the stitch up from the very centre one here up to the needle. The stitch on the needle, and that stitch in the needle is that one stitch that you have in the centre of those 2 rosebuds there, the 2 holes in the rosebud. That's how you find out where to put your stitches when you haven't got it written on the pattern to follow for every single row, because you can't do that for every. A lot of people do think it should be written like that, but there's just not enough room on the patterns to put it like that. So anyway, I'm counting up. I was just doing it, I couldn't see very well on there, but I'm following up to that stitch and I have 2 stitches there. Then I'm going to knit together, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I have 6 stitches, so I can do the next rosebud. So I'm going to knit 1, knit 2 together, wool forward, knit 1, wool forward, slip 1, knit 1, pass the slip stitch over, and then I'm going to knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's in the right place, so I'm starting the next one, knit 2 together, and so on. And that's how you find out where to put the rosebuds when you don't have the number of stitches on the pattern to follow. Anyway, that's my little bit for today, so thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.